What was unclear now is clear. Because the world, the universe, and truth are far bigger than the thoughts that you and I have accepted. It's not what you do, it's who you are. This moment right now is the single most important and beautiful moment of our life. Be in this moment, play in this moment, have this moment, live this moment. Want what's happening now. We begin to see that life is not so serious, that we're here to enjoy this experience of life through the tears, through the sadness, and through the fears. Every stream in life, every experience of life is leading me to the ocean of my existence. It's awesome stuff to live.
Oh, Buddha!
We don't need to do anything. There is no place else to be but where we are. Welcome to Aspire. We've entitled this series, The Touch, because it's about relationships and how spiritually everything in life is a spiritual relationship and how it touches our life and our existence. We're going to be looking at intimacy with such elements as children and work and money, all showing us how they interplay with us, and that these are relationships we are really having with ourselves, not with anyone else but us. Everything in life is a relationship with it, and life is us. So therefore, everything that we have and everything that we do in relationship reflects back into our own existence. It's very powerful. If you begin to think about the idea that everything in life is about us and showing us different elements of ourselves, you'll begin to see how relationships can correlate between what we're going through in our life and maybe some pain or maybe some beauty that's going on in our life or some difficulty, and how not to make it go away, but how to understand it, get the message out of it, and then move on with your life. I watch people stay stuck in their lives in certain places for years. They never budge because they just don't get it. They don't get that a relationship is there, and they're denying the relationship. For example, people get stuck in their idea about what their relationship should be with maybe another person. So they think, well, if I'm going to have a relationship with another person, here's how it's got to look, and here's how it's got to be emotionalized, and they've got to act this way and not do this and do this. And then pretty soon they start to find out that nobody can live up to this relationship that they're having. And then they go on in their life and they become very cynical and hard about it. They become difficult about relationship. Well, what I'd like to show you is that every relationship that you and I have is significantly spiritual, and I can teach you how to get the message of everything that comes to you, and then you can decide what you want to do with those messages. Do you want to have a more intimate relationship with yourself and your own existence, or do you want to just kind of go on and ignore it? Believe me, if you ignore the spiritual relationships that are going on in your life, you and I pay a dear price for that. And the price is our ignorance and our pain. You know, things don't come into our life to punish us or to harm us. They come into our life to show us elements about the way we're relating with things. People have an odd way of relating to, well, money and children, work. They have a very odd way of looking at themselves. And we don't really understand that how we look at these things and how we deal with them and how we relate to them affects every single moment of our life. This is a very important insight to have. That's why we chose to call it The Touch. How you touch things and how I touch things and how we relate to things and how we let things touch us and move us is crucial to our life. And if you stay stuck in any one category of religion, philosophy, or moralism, you're going to miss the insight that is there for you. So you're going to have some openness and some insight on your part and not be so stubborn maybe about your beliefs. If you can open up, I have something very special to share. If somebody were to ask you, what is your relationship with life? What would you say? And how would you measure your relationship with life? Would you look at it in the form of the events that are happening in your life right now and go, well, this event is going well, and this event is going well, and this is going the way I want it, so I have a very good relationship with life? Or if things aren't going so well, would you look at it and go, well, things aren't too good here, things aren't too good there, so I guess I'm not having such a great relationship with life? Well, that wouldn't be the mode of operandi, in my opinion, of how to gauge our relationship with life. Let me give you some insight into this. Life is about our compassion. Our relationship with life is showing us our compassion towards ourselves. Because compassion is not sympathy. Sympathy is emotional. Compassion is about feeling. Compassion is the ability to go inside of ourselves and accept the mystery of our life. And life is nothing but the mystery. When we're trying to control it or trying to regulate it through events and circumstances and conditions, we are missing what life is really all about. Therefore, we're out of relationship with it. If you want to get in relationship with life, see what's going on within yourself. How much compassion is there for you? Compassion is the ability for me and for you to accept things as they are. We may not understand things as they are, but to accept them in the light of the mystery of living. Some people can't do that. They've always got to have their finger on it. And when I have my finger on my life and I'm trying to control it or make it do something it can't do or take it someplace it can't go, then I fall out of relationship with life. And it's a very tricky thing. You have to leave room for the mystery. You can't be looking at it going, well, this is the way things have got to be or I'm not going to be happy, because it won't work like that. What you've got to do is kind of go with the flow of it. If I'm having a good relationship with life right now, it's because I am following life. I'm following the feel of it. Because I'm not in the passion of trying to make it move right or left. Listen to me. Whenever you're trying to move your life the way you want it to be, you're out of relationship with the beauty of God, of love, and yourself. What we have to be willing to do is to let go of what it is that we believe in and what we want life to be, and go with the feel of our life, because it's in the feel of our life that everything is trying to happen for our living. Try to remember how life responds to you. Life doesn't respond to us based on our intellect or our knowledge or what we believe in or the things that we have been taught. Life responds only to us in the form of our relationship to it. And it's showing us our relationship to love and the intimacy we have with love. If we have a deep intimacy with love, then we have a deep intimacy with life. Life is about a river that flows. It's the flow of love. And over 3,000 years ago, Buddha said, see how you love and what keeps you from your journey. The journey of love is the flow of our very life. And if we are aware of what that flow is and we understand it, we move with it without hesitation, without doubt, without religion, without belief, without theology, without concepts. We start to live our life as though it were the flow of our heart. And that's what real relationship is with life. Life isn't about what's right and wrong, good and bad. Life does not have a personality that says this is right, this is wrong, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Life is extremely tolerant, even of our evil. I like what Lao Tzu said. In the Tao, he says life has no aim. You and I have an aim to our life, a goal, an agenda with our life, and that's why we miss so much of it, because we are so busy trying to control it and categorize it and make it what it is we believe life should be. But when we do that, we negate the very existence and the character of life. Life is God. Life is love. And when Buddha said, see how you love and what keeps you from the journey, he opened up the secrets to everything. If Gregory can see how he loves, the way he loves, he can see that he has prejudice, he has beliefs, he has ideas of what right and wrong is, good and bad, where he should be, what he shouldn't be. He starts living for what he wants instead of for what life is. The object of life is to follow it. We want life to follow us like a dog. You can't make life follow you. You either do one of two things in your life. You and I either follow it and go to the river of our existence, which flows into the stream, which flows into the ocean, or we fool around with the idea that we can control our life and we try to make it what we want it to be and dam it up with our ideas and our philosophies and then tear away at the very fiber of our life, destroying what it is that we really are. And then people look at their life and they go, why did my life turn out this way? It turned out the way we love. It didn't turn out any other way except reflecting Gregory. What he's doing, who he is, his motive, his intent, his willingness to have relationship with life, and the level of his own intimacy. And when I start looking at my life from that point of view, I start taking a very responsible attitude about life. I start looking at it from my feelings, not my thoughts. Okay, so let's kind of boil it down into how this all works. Our relationship with life is showing us two things: our willingness for compassion and our willingness for love. So let's look at our willingness for compassion versus sympathy. Most people are only taught what sympathy is. Sympathy is when you look at another person and feel their pain and want to fix it all the time, and maybe sometimes are afraid of what it is that they're going through. Sympathy kind of is apathetic about the cause of it and just wants to get rid of the effects. Whereas compassion is looking at it from a deeper point of view. It is seeing what's going on and not worrying about what is right and wrong and what is good or bad or even the morals of it. It's looking at the cause of what has made the problem possible. And when you and I start looking at our life from a compassionate point of view, we start seeing what our relationship is with life, and we are not so concerned with the effects of what's going on around us. So we get down to the basic fundamental problem, and that is the way we love and our whole idea about love. Most people think they know what love is based on passion, reason, and emotion. But what if I were to say to you that love is none of the things you believe in, none of the things you hope for, and none of the things you and I were taught? That it's a mystery, and you enter into that mystery within you. Love has no aim and no purpose other than to be itself. Look around you at this beautiful grove we're in. This is love. Everything grows according to itself. Cycles of life and death are here. There's no right or wrong. There's just the cycle of life. We can tune into that cycle through our compassion, not through our intellect, but through our compassion, getting in touch with what we feel and not what we believe emotionally should be right and wrong, good and bad. You and I have removed ourselves from life. Life has not abandoned us. We chose to believe in certain ideals and idealisms for love. See how you love and what keeps you from your journey. That is the key to our life. And it's the very essence of our inner work. It's not about being more religious or more pure or perfect. It's about harmonizing and actually allowing ourselves to merge with what is. And when you come into a grove like this and feel the nature of life, you can't help but feel the nature of yourself. Don't go away. We're going to be right back. We just have one quick message and then we'll continue. Well, now we come to the most important part in our series, the how-tos, how to make all this happen and what's this all about. This is such a beautiful little spot. Probably like you, I don't spend enough time in nature. I don't spend enough time enjoying what's around me. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said to us, if we were to get close to our hearts, we needed to first get close to nature. You know, all around me is such beauty right now. And there is a subtle message in the beauty. You could look at the rocks and the water and just say, well, there's rocks and water. Or you could see how there is a spirit of willingness in the rocks and the water to make everything happen. The willingness of the rocks for the water to fall over them, the willingness of the rock to be there for the water. That kind of willingness is exactly what Lao Tzu is talking about. If we are to get close to life, we have to get close to the nature that lives within us and to be willing to accept what's going on inside of us without shame or guilt or pride, to enter into the very mystery of ourselves. People look inside themselves and they become very frightened because they see so many things going on simultaneously. Sometimes there's laughter, sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's hurt, sometimes there's joy. But we're always just a little dubious about going very deep in us because we don't want to find things about us that we're afraid of. Don't be afraid of what's going on within you. Go into the mystery of you. And if you can go into that part of yourself that you're afraid of as though it is a mystery and not a confrontation, it will change everything about the way you approach your life and your well-being. That's what Lao-Tzu meant when he said, get close to nature, emulate nature. Be willing to allow nature to have its course within you, and you will allow life to have its course within your life. The second thing is to go deep into the heart, as Lao-Tzu said, deep into the heart of our being. And this means spending time in silent meditation, not trying to make things happen, but to go silently into the core of our being. Remember, the most important thing you will ever practice is the silence of meditation. If you are in a meditative space, you are in sync with life, because life is about the pure silence of our being. Life is not about noise and haste and right and wrong. It's about a quiet isness. It is about being willing to let love have its place in us and let love take us to our life. There is no destination in this life. There is only where we are. And if we can be where we are in love, then everything that is around us and within us is relevant to our life and who we are. The third insight I want to share with you about this attunement to life is that of being gentle and kind. Now, when I talk about being gentle and kind, I'm not talking about being manipulative. Kindness and gentleness don't come from manipulation. If they're real kindness and gentleness, they come from the realization that we have of our own spirit of how kind and gentle life is. We've made life harsh because life is reflecting what it is that we believe in. Life is reflecting what it is that we have as a philosophy and as a concept. Life is showing us the lack and the limitations of ourselves, where we tend to look at ourselves and just kind of stay where we are emotionally and mentally. Kindness and gentleness. It's a compassion. You will see the foibles and flaws in many people. Kindness and compassion is not critical. It allows for people to be where they're at without trying to change them or analyze them. You're certainly not going to change people with their bad habits or with their hang-ups, their judgments, and their fears. It is up to us to merge in acceptance of that. It doesn't mean we go along with it, and it doesn't mean we condone it. It doesn't mean that we say, okay, well, since you're afraid and critical and judgmental, I will be. It just means that we realize we can't change these people. If there's a kindness and a gentleness in us about where people are at, a lack of criticism, we begin to find something called a grace entering into our life. And this grace is very important because it allows us to be freed of our limitations. One last thing. Be true. Be true to yourself. Don't allow yourself to be caught in the gap of trying to make what it is that you believe in the truth. Find out what the truth is and be true to yourself. I think one of the most important things that we can do in our life is be true to who we are. We are love. We are life. Yes, we are human. And there is nothing wrong with that. And never let anyone take away your humanness. We need to be human to be here on this planet with all sorts of flaws and faults. But in being true to yourself, you are allowing yourself to have the opportunity to know who and what you really are and to heal your life. Compassion, silence, being close to the earth, being true to yourself. These are all the ways in which we merge with life. And it shows us our relationship with love, which is the most important relationship we have. It is the one that life is created out of and still moves from. And when we merge with it, all sorts of happy things can happen. So life is not showing us anything more than our relationship with ourselves. It is showing us our relationship with love and our relationship with life. Life as God, not life around us as circumstance. People get so caught up in the circumstances and in the circumference of their life that they miss what the core experience of living is all about. Don't be concerned about what is reflecting out into your life in the form of circumstances. Those are the teachings trying to show us what's going on or not going on within us. When we're aware of what's going on within us, we have become attuned to life. Circumstances, conditions, effects are nothing more than our teachers. They are trying to say, Gregory, look in yourself. Gregory, look in yourself. Look in yourself. Don't look outside of yourself for what's happening. And remember, love is what's happening. Love is the only language there is in life. There are many other languages you and I could speak, but love is the only language. And that's why I urge to you a compassion, a kindness, a meditation, of getting close to your very existence. When a person starts working from that point of view, we start finding an adventure starting to occur in our life, a song, a dance. We begin to find something within us that we had forgotten years ago and that we forsook, so to speak, for what it was that we wanted. Don't forsook your life. Don't forsake what it is that you are. Start to play with who you are. Don't take it seriously. Take it wisely. Take it gently. Take it compassionately. That's when we really start to make things happen within us. Spirituality is not about philosophies that we adopt or religions that we believe in. It's about how we live our life moment to moment to moment. And the biggest things in life are the moment to moment things that occur in our living. Those are the things that really count and have a great impact upon our living. I want to thank you for allowing us to be with us on this very first Aspire on The Touch. We shot this at the Botanic Gardens in Santa Barbara, and I want to thank them for all of their generosity and help. I want you to have a wonderful week, and thank you for letting us touch you this morning. Namaste. What was unclear now is clear, because the world, the universe, and truth are far bigger than the thoughts that you and I have accepted. It's not what you do, it's who you are. This moment right now is the single most important and beautiful moment of our life. Be in this moment, play in this moment, have this moment, live this moment. Want what's happening now. We begin to see that life is not so serious, that we're here to enjoy this experience of life through the tears, through the sadness, and through the fears. Every stream in life, every experience of life is leading me to the ocean of my existence. It's awesome stuff to live.
Oh, Buddha!
We don't need to do anything. There is no place else to be but where we are.
To order a VHS copy of this program, please write to us or call 1-800-ASPIRE-2.